Hi, I'm David Debato, and this is the No Delusion Zone. The topic for the podcast today is MAGA and the continuing embarrassment that they are to Americans, to the world of Western democracies, and to the world in general. They're a joke. They're a clown circus. They're a disgrace. They're a criminal cabal made up of boobs, idiots, incompetents, and criminals. The latest disaster, and the one I'm talking about today, is the persecution. There's no other word for it. The political persecution of former American officials, specifically. And I'll read this from a new reporting on Mediaite, but it's been reported in many, many other news platforms. The CIA director, the current one, loser, scumbag. No other word for him, scumbag, John Ratcliffe. And I'm going to quote from the Mediaite report. CIA Director John Ratcliffe dropped a bomb on Sunday when he clearly told Fox's Maria Bartiromo that it's possible there could be criminal prosecution of several high-profile Democrats, including Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, former FBI Director James Comey, and even Ratcliffe's own predecessor, former Obama chief John Brennan. And what did these individuals do to deserve federal prosecution? Their jobs. They looked into possible interference in the 2016 election by the Russian government, by Russian intelligence. Credible allegations made that Russian intelligence was intentionally interfering and trying to manipulate the 2016 presidential elections in the United States of America. Now, that's an allegation that I would hope any official in government would want to take seriously and would want to track down to find out if there was any validity to that allegation. But no, not these scumbags. Nope. They don't want to believe it. Even though the result of a bipartisan report, bipartisan, that means that many Republicans agreed with it, said that the Russians did interfere with the 2016 election, American presidential election. No, they didn't say that there was any direct collusion between Donald Trump and the Republican Party. What they did say was that Russian intelligence did intentionally interfere with the American presidential election in 2016. They didn't say whether it threw the election, whether it elected Donald Trump or not, but they did do their best to make that happen. That's a fact. They proved it. And the Republicans, at least the Republicans that were part of that report, were on the committee, agreed with the report. Fast forward to 2025, and now the people that were in positions of responsibility when that report was investigated and submitted are now the subject of persecution by MAGA, by the current fascist party of America. Why? Again, for doing their jobs. All they did was authorize these investigations, sign off on the report that a bunch of Republicans did as well, but because Donald Trump, King Donald, that fascist neo-Nazi criminal, convicted felon, says to go after them, they're going after them. And any MAGA supporter, any supporter of Donald Trump that may be unfortunate enough to listen to this podcast that still supports going after these individuals, supports an investigation, indictments, imprisonments of these officials solely for doing their job, well, you need to move to Russia. You're definitely in the wrong country. North Korea would be a good substitute as well. But the United States of America is definitely not your country, because me and many, many, many millions of me are not going to allow this to go too much further. We're not going to allow this to descend any further into a dictatorship. MAGA's got its days numbered. And if you support MAGA, if you're part of MAGA, your days are numbered, meaning you're either going to have to move or go underground. Because when this is all settled, when the dust is settled, not right away, but in the next few years, these scumbags like Bondi and John Ratcliffe, who are part of this investigation, who are authorizing this investigation, are going to be part of like a Nuremberg style trials. They're going to pay for their crimes. And these are crimes. They're traitors. These are traitors, real traitors, not these fake traitors they're trying to make you believe. These folks are pieces of shit. And I'm going to end it there. Brief podcast, because the words that are in my head, I don't want to leave any more of them in the podcast. It makes me upset, makes me angry. And I think I've pretty much said my piece. If you support the voice of the opposition, if you support people like me, podcasters like me, that are the voice of the opposition to this disgusting, loathsome oligarchy that is MAGA in the United States, please show your support, please. What I mean is become a paid subscriber to my website, to the No Delusion Zone at www.protectingtherepublic.com. Put those 3 W's there, .protectingtherepublic.com. That's where you'll see the No Delusion Zone podcast. That's where you'll see my written articles, and I need your support. Also, go to YouTube and the No Delusion Zone podcast there. You will see shorts of my longer podcast there. Become a subscriber there as well. So thank you for viewing, and as always, you all take care, stay safe, and if at all possible, stay sane.